Today with Arvin Hopcraft, the creator of the Easy Self Control program. Are you someone who's battling with trying to quit smoking? You've tried everything and nothing seems to work? Well, I've got a question for you. If you could be able to quit your cigarettes within the next 30 days without having to go cold turkey, no pills, no potions, no lotions, and actually have success, even if everything you've tried up to this point hasn't worked, would that be something you'd want to hear about? If you said yes, stick with me because Arvin is going to share with you exactly how you can do just that within the next 30 days. Say goodbye to cigarettes once and for all. So, Arvin, can you hear me okay?
I can, Chuck.
Good. Arvin, people struggling with cigarette addiction, um, once you get hooked on cigarettes, it seems like an easy thing to quit. You think in your head until you try to do it. Tell us, I know that you have done a lot of work in the area of cigarette addiction. Uh, Help me with this. Um,
I
uh,
have done a lot of work in it, and it's the work started with me when I was a 3 pack a day smoker and struggling to quit and trying to I used willpower, I used the patch, I used Nicorette, I tried everything, and all I would do is end up starting again within a short period of time. A little bit of stress, and that's it. I was lighting back up again.
the thing is with
So,
cigarettes is once you, and it's amazing, you work so hard to get past that nausea and stuff that you first experienced when you first start smoking. But and you'd think you'd quit, but you don't because you want to be cool, right? and, but um, the idea of all the memories that you've associated, like when you wake up, you have a cigarette. Something great happens, you have a cigarette to celebrate. Something bad happens, and you have a cigarette to make yourself feel good. It's amazing how these cigarettes kind of embed themselves in your psyche.
well, and that's what in NLP, that's what we call anchors, and they're triggers. It's like yes, indeed. You wake up in the morning. I mean, I lit a cigarette before I started getting dressed, and it was just that trigger. And certainly, I'd have that one smoked, but it pour your first cup of coffee. How you gonna have a coffee without a cigarette? I jump in the car and I start it. How can you drive without a cigarette? I mean, I had an excuse for everything.
I don't think it's possible to drive without a. Well, I do now, but
You do
yeah,
now, yes.
I totally get that.
But all of these things, and when we recognize it, so first when you're quitting, you have to recognize your triggers, that which makes you light up. And after I'd quit, all it took was a little bit of stress for me. And especially when you're running your own business, there is stress. And
Arvin, okay, so you want to quit, and there are for some people they go through. I mean, we think of like being totally in your head, but people trying to quit sometimes will have even physical issues when they try to pull themselves away from cigarettes.
well, I can describe my own in that smoking kept my sinuses, wrecked, basically. So when I'd quit smoking, my sinuses would shrink, and they would shrink at such a rate that I would get just wicked headaches. Just sometimes I would light up a cigarette just to slow down the shrinking of my sinuses. At least I'm certain it was them shrinking because my nose would be running and draining, and there was physical pain involved. I would have the shakes, and yeah, there is.
I know people will even they'll go and take like Nicorette gum. That I had this one friend who was taking pills. He was popping these pills that he got from his doctor prescribed these pills to help him with his nicotine. As he's trying to get off the nicotine, off the cigarettes. And here he's putting a cigarette in his mouth while he's chewing on these
Yeah.
pills. And I'm going, Dan, you now got two habits you're gonna have to try and break. So instead of just getting
Exactly.
rid of one, you got two.
Yes, that sounds like me because I would have five of those or six of those in my mouth at the same time to give myself that shot of nicotine, and then yeah, where's my cigarette? And I would light it too. I think that I was the worst, uh, the worst addiction to cigarettes of anybody I've ever met. I think, at least that's what I feel.
I
So,
remember because I was a pretty heavy smoker one time. I mean, at least for me, I thought it was, and I think you actually, when we talked, you said you're more than a 2 pack a day, but I was like a 1 pack a day guy, and if I went out, you know, to the bar or wherever, get around people in a social setting, I might smoke even a pack and a half, but the idea of weight gain. I love food, but it was interesting because like up until about 30, my age 35, I was a smoker, and then I quit smoking, and all of a sudden I really started tasting food like I'd never tasted it before. My taste buds now were on a warp drive. Weight gain. You're trying to you got to quit smoking, and then you get all this weight coming on.
Well, there's many different ways of looking at that, but when you talk about addiction, yes, I was a 3-pack a day smoker, and if I went out, I'd smoke 4. Sometimes I'd even smoke 4.5. Sometimes if we were going out. So I mean, I was really addicted. And when I quit, yes, food tasted good, and I did gain weight at that time. I had not mastered the programs yet. I got it so that I could quit smoking. But yes, I gained weight. But I still said, even if I gained weight, I was still healthier
I
than I
think
was
that for some people, though, Arvin, they may be reluctant to quit smoking because they don't want to put that weight on.
and that's very true. And that's where, like I said, now we have the program mastered in that you do it without gaining weight, without the withdrawals, without the stress withdrawals. And these are in the programs that we have that help you do that and deal with the subconscious mind, deal with your beliefs and addictions in the subconscious mind, because here, and this is statistically proven, 72 hours after your last cigarette, there's no more nicotine left in your body. So you're no longer dealing with the physical addiction, you're dealing with the psychological addiction, which can be harder to break than the physical addiction.
Right.
So if we don't deal with that, that's why people end up starting again, because they're just a smoker that has quit. And so if you don't deal with that psychological addiction, 4, 5, 6 months later, even for me, it's 6 years later, I went through a divorce and there I was smoking again. And because I had not dealt with that yet. Now, I am a non-smoker. When I quit in 1998, I have not even been tempted, no matter how much stress I went through, not even been tempted to start again.
Arvin, I
I,
know for some people, they find themselves being very irritable. I mean, they enjoyed smoking. They now have, maybe for health reasons, or their partner says, "Look, either quit smoking or we're done," whatever. But for some reason, they've come to the point where they have to quit smoking. But they become like a Jekyll and Hyde now. They might have been easygoing, but now, because they're trying to give up something that they really enjoyed, they're irritable. So
that
again,
I was on the top of the list for that one too. I stayed away from people. I didn't even like myself. I couldn't even stand looking in the mirror half the time, because I didn't like who was looking back. I mean, oh, irritable, yes. But once again, when you stop something and you're depriving yourself of something, you get irritable. I don't care what it is. You're going to get irritable. So when the human mind will do more to avoid pain than it will to gain pleasure. So if you have placed pain on quitting, then you're going to be irritable. But if you place the pain on smoking, so that your pleasure is now to be a non-smoker and the pain is to be a smoker, you'll leave it behind, and that's how you get rid of that irritability. I'm really brushing over it. I'm not going into that much detail because it's impossible to go into the detail. But that is the sum of the problem, is that don't deprive yourself.
So now the Easy Self Control program, does it address then, like we talked about, physical issues with quitting smoking, the potential for weight gain, the irritability? Would it help with all three of those things?
In fact, the irritability and weight gain is something right at the beginning of the program, all the way through. We're working on that all the way through, and we're giving you the suggestions and the techniques and the exercises to use so that doesn't happen.
And it's more than just simply hypnosis, isn't it? Your program uses a number of different methods.
It is, because actually in my early years, I started with meditation, where we would solve a lot of problems like that. Then I get into hypnosis. I became a hypnotherapist. And even then, I realized that everybody learns in a different rate and in a different way. So that was when I studied EFT, or tapping. excellent program. Neurolinguistic programming, NLP, great techniques in there. Reiki, which is a study of how our energy works and how we can use it to work for us. And I combined these into what we have in the Easy Self-Control programs. So there is something there. It doesn't matter how you learn. It doesn't matter whether you're visual, audio. It doesn't matter. There is techniques in there that will help you and leave. What you do is you'll leave that behind. You'll leave the irritability behind. You'll leave the desire for food behind, and you'll move into a better place, one that you are satisfied with and you're happy with, where you've left your addictions behind. Because let's face it, being addicted to something, whatever it is not fun at all.
So Arvin, for somebody who they're a smoker, they want to become a non-smoker, and they would like to get more information about how you can help them, what's the next step for them to do, Arvin?
Click the website link is on the video. Click on it. Go to the website, and if you want more information, just go to the comment section and leave me a note. I'll answer your questions. Just say I would like more information on this, and I'll help you. I'll send it back to you.
Awesome. Well, Arvin, thanks a lot for talking to us today about quitting smoking. I know that your message is speaking to millions and millions of people who have this challenge and they want to get past it. So thank you very much, Arvin.
I hope so. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too, Arvin. Take care.